Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Dragon here, back with more of the Fate Stay Night Remaster, where today it's a bit of a re-recording here because turns out that all of Day 9 was not successfully recorded. That or the video was corrupted. Either way, when I went in to edit the videos down for YouTube consumption, it wasn't there. So I'm going to be re-recording all of Day 9. So we'll not have the same interaction with chat because there is no chat here. The clips, however, shall be from the original run because that was saved, at the very least. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be redoing Day 9, which means bad end and otherwise. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, please, for me, give it a like, because I'm going through the effort of re-recording it rather than just writing it off as a, it sucks, but oh well, sort of situation. Comment if you have anything to say. Subscribe to the channel, that's always helpful. Join the Discord, and follow me on Twitch in the description down below. So, I need to get to a loading point here, because I don't think it'll let me just... Oh, I can just... Okay, I didn't know you could begin selected scene flashbacks. I don't know how far it will let you go from this, but we're going to give it a try. So begin from Interlude, A Knight's Tale at the beginning. Move my mouse cursor off there. So yeah, this is where we're going to go from. Not sure how much spirit there will be, but I'm going to give it my darndest attempt here. Then I see his dream. Oh, the text is going to be green because this is all text I've seen before. The memory of the man who was celebrated as a hero. The story of a knight who was not understood by anyone. It is a simple story. At the very heart of the matter, there was something wrong with him. He had a reasonable amount of power and a fair amount of ambition. Yet he used his strength in the wrong places from beginning to end and died a miserable death. It came as a reasonable consequence. Power exists to grant your own wishes. Pity does no good for others. There's a balance between the actions you take come back to you, or so Kirei regularly says. So originally I think I was thinking this was a Shiro dream, but that Kirei meaning Rin dream. One is fed because their actions circulate to generate more vitality. But not having that means never being replenished. If one lives for someone else instead of oneself, it's obvious that they would run out of energy right away. It would be like money if it was disposable. If others use it, there's nothing left for you. It's easy to take advantage of, and it's a given that it'll be used. That's why in the end, he saw many betrayals, and his life was ended by someone he saved. It just makes me mad. I want to know why. He worked hard, made superhuman effort though he was an ordinary person, and he accomplished a miracle with his own blood. His reward for that was betrayal and death. And though it seems ludicrous, he died satisfied. It's not my place to criticize another's life. It's not my place, but I can't stand that one major point. Yeah, that's, it's very reasonable to not be able to understand that. Very, very reasonable, because it's severely messed up in the head to have that kind of mindset. I've had this dream multiple times now, and that is my belief. Usually, I wake up there. Yet, it seems like this morning there's more to this dream. He was standing in that hell. It's a scene of devastation by natural means rather than by human hands. I would make a contract. I will serve after death, and in return, I would take compensation now. He weaves the spell of a contract. Thus he was changed as if possessed and saved those who would normally not be saved. Now, this must be how he became a counter-guardian. From this perspective, it isn't really that great of a compensation. He probably saved a number not even in the hundreds. This is barely qualification for a hero with such a small number, and normally it wouldn't count for the level of a heroic spirit. Yet the number is irrelevant. The qualification is one who surpassed you in bounds and is able to change the fate of those destined to die. Something that upends fate itself. It doesn't matter if he's not a powerful like a hero, as long as it was a disaster that could not be avoided, however small that he changed. No. The world would gain a heroic spirit in turn, as compensation for this miracle. Counter Guardian! He became a hero and saved many lives that could not have been saved. As a result, he became a heroic spirit after he died, and now repeats the same things he did in life. As a servant. As a slave. I guess the payment for the miracle is to become a disposable tool in service of others, even after death. Heroic spirits. Superior spirits chosen by humanity. Guardian spirits of humanity. So this is counter-guardians. But they are not ones with free will like heroic spirits. So, again, I'm pretty sure this was very early on in the Nasuverse lore. There is a distinction between heroic spirits and counter-guardians. Both can be servants. But counter-guardians are guardians of humanity. Guardians do not have free will, they merely operate as sources of power. They're extermination weapons that are only summoned to protect the world when circumstances appear that could destroy it. They're summoned to destroy these circumstances. The servant system is nothing more than a ritual that uses these guardians. No. So the servant system does not use counter-guardians. The servant system calls upon the heroic spirits. There is a difference. Counter-guardians are summoned into any era. After eliminating the threatening circumstances, they disappear. I would hate to be like that, but he must have been determined to take that role. In fact, he might have even desired it. Nothing made him happier than being able to save people, even after he died. Since he didn't have the power to save them when he was alive, he must have believed that he could avert any tragedy once he became a counter-guardian. With that in mind, he readily made a deal with the world to give up his life after death and saved hundreds of lives. After that, he believed that he could save tens of thousands of more. What an idiot. There's no way that could happen. Because by the time a heroic spirit is summoned, where they appear is already gone to hell. Places where counter-guardians appear are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by mankind. Humans are creatures that perish from their own doing. That's why the process of destruction is always the same. Jealousy, hatred, selfishness, desire. The man who loved and tried to help others was shown the same ugliness, even after he died. He's summoned to such places and fulfills his responsibilities, just as the contract says. He killed. He killed and killed and killed and killed. He killed all the humans where he was summoned to save humanity as a whole. I don't know how many times he repeated it, nor do I have the means to know how many more times he will continue to repeat it. There's only one thing I can say. He's been betrayed by many things. But in the end, he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in. His ideals. Yeah, it's, When I wake up, I have nothing useful to say. My body feels strangely tired, and I can't move from the bed. My mind is the only thing that's clear, and I still stare blankly at the ceiling. I had a feeling. That was his memory, after all. I sigh and gaze at the ceiling. This sucks. He could have told me that I might get glimpses of his memories when I'm sleeping, since masters and servants are connected spiritually. If he told me, I could have cut my consciousness, so I wouldn't have had to deal with that. I should get up. I've got a lot to do today. I get my body out of the bed. My body feels heavy, and my eyelids are as heavy as stone. I resent how I'm not a morning person, and slowly change from my pajamas to my uniform. Well, I'm not sure whether it makes sense or it was unexpected. He used to be a pretty hot-blooded man back in the day. I don't know what kind of hero he was, but he seemed more honest in the past. Well, I guess it's natural for his personality to get twisted after living a life like that, and yet, to be in such a situation, even after death... I have a brief laugh. My reflection in the mirror looks so serious, like I'm about to cry, so I try to laugh it off. Otherwise, I won't be able to face Archer at all. Yeah. Poor Archer, man. I get ready and drink the freshly brewed tea in the living room. I don't usually eat breakfast, so I'm quick. There's 15 minutes until I have to leave for school. This cup of tea is like a ritual I perform every morning to wake my half-asleep body. How long are you going to be playing around for? Yeah, there's one fool that can't read the room. Until 7:30. I'll be late if I stay any longer than that. I'm not asking about when you have to leave for school, I'm asking about the Holy Grail War. It's not a bad thing to pair with other masters, but the partner you chose is too weak. That again, Archer keeps suggesting that I cut off my truths with Shiro Emiya at every chance he gets. I told you I have no chance of doing that. You say that, but I think he's fit for it. It's true he's not much help in battle, but he's perfect as an ally. Because, well, I think he would never betray me, no matter what. Trust is a point of negotiation. I cannot trust someone without a reason in return. Look, that is not someone who can survive and win. If you're to choose an ally... I'm not saying that! Castor is more clever. Don't be ridiculous, Archer. You're telling me to stoop so low to match their devilishness? I set my teacup down and look at Archer. Even if it was sarcasm, I can't ignore his implication. The atmosphere freezes. I'm seriously getting pissed, and Archer looks like he has no intention of backing down. We stare at each other. It's true that Castor's a schemer, but she is indeed like a mage. In that regard, you're not suited for battle. If you're a mage, you should prioritize results over ambitions. Your cynicism won't get you anywhere. I won't change my policy. The hell's your problem, anyway? You've been acting strange ever since you met Shiro Emiya. Where'd that rationality of yours go? I realize without you even having to say it, but I can't help it. He hasn't gained anything even though he's a mage, and he's dangerously narrow-minded. There's no use in trying to scheme against such a guy. And besides, he's... What happened? Finally get a bead on your own stupidity? Yes, I suppose there's something wrong with me. But Archer, this is your fault for letting me know things. What? Never mind. Forget it. Anyway, you're my servant, got that? I'm only going to do what I believe is right. I'm not as naive as Emiya, but I do have things I won't give up on, no matter who's telling me to. I can't clamp down on the anger, and that makes me realize I don't feel any sympathy, even after learning about his past. I'm just mad. I can't hear you, Archer, so I take it out on him as much as I can. The knight in red coat sighs and assumes what seems to be his favorite pose. Nothing I can do about it, I guess. It's the role of a retainer to support a master. Well or not, I shall look after you from the sidelines until you're back to your usual self. And he replies with an answer that's neither a yes or no. Okay, so that's that scene. So that's how this is going to work then. Little annoying, but I can probably pick it up when it comes to this choice and then just play it so I don't have to go back to this scene selection. So, morning scene after school Ryoto Temple guest. Woo! So back with Shiro. I wake up. I feel heavy like there's lead inside my head. That's this. I haven't been waking up well lately. I don't know if it's because there's a lot to think about or if I'm having a weird dream. Even though I usually don't dream, I feel like I've been experiencing something like a dream recently. They were beautiful swords. I often vaguely dream of swords. Among them, his blades appear quite frequently. Excuse me. Yeah, I like them. So what? I curse at Archer, who's not even here, and get out of bed. It's before 6 a.m. I can't be getting distracted by strange dreams. I should go prepare breakfast. Saber sees me off as I leave the house. I've gotten used to this lifestyle, and the morning passes by smoothly without anything in particular happening. Drink of water. I don't see Tosaka by the school gate. Since the only lead we had, Issei, ended up innocent, I believe she's busy running around and gathering information. Yeah, this is my problem too. I need to do some investigating as well. But the question is, how to do that? Tosaka's probably investigating the people at school, so I should investigate the building one more time. Bing, bong, boom. Well, it's not like we'll be able to conveniently find out what we didn't know before. I used the break and first half of lunch to look around school, but couldn't find any abnormalities. I don't know what you're doing, but good work. He must have finished lunch already, as Issei acknowledges my efforts while reading an old poetry anthology. Thanks, I'll be having tea since I'm going to eat lunch. Wait, where's the teapot? Oh, it's here, but we only have kelp tea. Is that alright? Again, never ever had tea. I'll have plain hot water. I just can't handle how thick kelp tea is. I see. And then I'll get the green tea from the teacher's office tomorrow. I leave a rather cheerful Issei to himself and pour myself water before I sit at the table. Guess I'll dig in. I clap my hands together and open my lunch. At the same time, someone knocks on the door. Someone's at the door, Issei. At this time, Issei slowly goes to the door. Visitor is Mr. Kuzuki, the teacher in charge of the student council. I run into him often, and I bet he thinks I let myself into the student council room overly frequently. I quietly eat my ground chicken lunch. He must have nothing to report today, as Issei and Mr. Kuzuki are just chatting. I munch on my food. I work on finishing up. Mr. Kuzuki, it's almost time. I'm sorry to take up your time. I'm sure you know without being told, but don't forget to lock up. And make sure you leave school on time. Yes, I know. Mr. Kuzuki leaves, and Issei comes back in a rather good mood. Now that's a rarity. Soichiro Kuzuki chatting with a student, and with a normally shy Issei. Well, they might get along because they're both stubborn, but it's still odd. Hey, Issei. What is it, Amiya? You know, I've been wondering for a while, but are you close with Mr. Kuzuki? Oh, he's surprised. It's fine if it's private. I just thought that was the case, so don't worry about it. No, that's not it. I just realized I hadn't told you. It's only natural we're close. Mr. Kuzuki's like a big brother to me. Huh? Mr. Kuzuki's like his big brother? What do you mean? I said he's like my big brother. Soichiro, Mr. Kuzuki has been staying at our place for the past 3 years or so. I've come to respect him. It's living under the same roof as him. I've come to respect him. It's natural I would look up to him as an older brother. He lives at Ryoto Temple. I feel like the back of my head has been hit. That's called using your brain, Jiro. A rare feat for him, but I force myself to stay calm on the outside and ask Issei to continue. Hey, you said there's a woman there lately, right? Does Kuzuki know about her? He doesn't know her. He doesn't just know her. She's his fiancée. We're letting her borrow a room until they hold their wedding. Again, the brain cells activate. A second shock. I don't think you would just call her some new woman in that case. I try my best to object through the dizziness. Well, she's certainly new, and we're not well acquainted. Even if she's Mr. Kuzuki's fiancée, that's all I can say about her. I don't even know her name. Issei ends the conversation, clearly uncomfortable. Anyway, regardless of the source, this is news I can't ignore. Soichiro Kuzuki commutes from Ryoto Temple, and a woman who is staying at Ryoto Temple. I heard that Mr. Kuzuki's fiancée showed up about a month ago. If that was Caster, we pretty much have our answer. Again, the neurons, the brain cells, they be activating. So that's what I heard. In class after school, there's only 10 minutes until we have to go home, but I tell Tosaka about Mr. Kuzuki. What do you think? Considering Issei's situation as well, I don't think we should suspect him just because he lives at the temple. Mr. Kuzuki, huh? He doesn't have the presence of a master since he's not even a mage to start with. I don't even know if she's listening to me as she frowns like she's not convinced. Not a mage. That's good. So we can count him out then. Why? Someone that suspicious has to be a master. Okay, I guess I'm starting to get used to this. But I still can't keep up with Tosaga's thought process. We'll ambush him tonight. I'll try pulling some strings so he'll have to stay at the night shift, so you be ready too. Hold on, we can't do that. Getting on the night shift, are you saying we'll fight him tonight? Of course, there's no guarantee Kuzuki will come to school tomorrow. We can't afford to wait. We'll make him stay at school until night and test him on his way home to see if he's a master or not. Let me just ask him in that case. How are we gonna test if he's a master or not? Using force, just like I did to you. The way she says that sounds oddly honeyed. She really does like pushing people around. Maybe in another lifetime, the two of us would have fought over a playground's peace as children. I'm against it. There's gotta be a less violent way to check. There's no need to take such dangerous measures. It's not dangerous. I'm not indiscriminate, you know. I'm just gonna shoot a light gander at him from the shadows. Even if he's an ordinary citizen, he'll only be bedridden with a cold for a couple of days. Well, that's a problem too. If he really is a master, then we'll be getting into a battle with him then and there. As long as we attack first, we won't be able to talk to him. You don't get it. That's even more favorable to us. What part of it are you calling dangerous, Emiya? You also don't get it. I'm saying it's dangerous for you. She must have finally realized and pauses. Only for an instant. I see. That's fine. I'll just do it myself then. She decides just like that. Damn, I guess there's no use saying anything to Tosaka once she's made up her mind. Fine, I'll go with you. I don't know what kind of crazy things you would do if I let you be. That's my line. God, I was wondering what you were going to say. It's time to go home. Let's meet at 7 p.m. at the park under the bridge. That'll most likely turn into a battle, so you better be prepared. You should as well, Reen. You should totally have Archer, you know, looking out over things from a mile or so away. She looks away and starts walking. I leave the classroom after her. That's totally the smart thing to do. And Reen is smart, so she'll do it, right? So we'll ambush We'll ambush Kuzuki tonight. Well, we don't know for sure if Kuzuki is the master, but that's pretty much the plan. I give Saber a detailed account of today's events as soon as I get home. Saber agrees with Tosaka and already seems aroused by the prospect. So we won't be training today. I'll prepare dinner right away, so let's get ready for tonight. Wait, is it bad to eat before going to battle? Why are you asking such a thing? I believe there will be a problem if we're on an empty stomach during our battle. Well, I thought it might be too heavy on the stomach. We don't even have an hour left, so it might be better to eat dinner once we get back home. Oh no, I don't think that's the case. It's also the quality of a warrior to be able to quickly digest anything we consume. Oh, well, I don't think meals are as much of a problem if one's been training and led a proper lifestyle. So does that mean I can cook dinner? Yes, I believe we'll have more energy that way. I see. Well, I also train so that I can move right after I eat, so I guess there's no problem. But, well, I'm still making something light, just in case. Then I'll be in the living room. What about you, Saber? I shouldn't bother you. I should stay and clear my mind for now. I guess she means to meditate. Got it. I'll come get you once dinner's ready, okay? I leave the dojo. Sudden tone shift. It's completely dark outside. We're meeting at 7 p.m., so that means we will be able to ambush Mr. Kuzuki in an hour after that. If he is a master, then we'll have to fight. Caster is a cautious servant. If she found out that her master was attacked, we won't get another chance. Then we have to make sure that it's fatal if we're going to attack. We can't let the opponent escape and don't have the luxury of fleeing ourselves. No matter the opponent, in order to stop Caster from attacking the people in town, we must defeat her master. If If all goes well, we'll take away his command spells and he won't be a master anymore. But if worse comes worse and we're unable to manage that, it'll probably turn into a fight to the death. I should probably take a weapon. A weapon from here, the easiest to pass energy through, is probably a wooden sword. My success rate at strengthening has been going up recently, so even a wooden sword would become a good weapon. But that's only the case for a normal fight. I need a better weapon to fight against a servant or a master. If I were being greedy, swords like his... Kancho and Bakuya, I imagine what I saw in my dream. The black and white twin swords. They're a length that even I'd feel comfortable using. And ultimately, I would be able to fight decently enough with them. I could protect myself without being such a burden to Saber and be able to proudly say that I'm her master. Man, there's no use in wishing for something I don't have, idiot. Oh, Shiro, at least you're acknowledging your idiocy. At times. I sigh and head to the porch. I'll just have to do what I can. For now, I'll put my energy and strength into making dinner. Saber is so serious, but it seems like she looks forward to meals. It has secretly been my joy to make her happy with them. And that's that scene. Next scene is going to be the last scene I show in this manner before, because when we get to the choice, we can start going through these saves, since I have saves at every checkpoint. So the next scene awaits. Woo! It's 7 p.m. Tosaka came right on time. Sorry to keep you waiting. It took a while since I was getting the necessary things. How's your preparation? I hand her the practice sword bag. There's a wooden sword inside. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. This is all the preparation I can do. Well, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, we have sabers for hand-to-hand combat. You might end up just watching. That's true. As long as Saber is here, all I have to do is back her up. Well, I find it hard to think of a situation where I'll actually need to watch her back. Reen, why is Archer not here? Reen, you had ample opportunity to get Archer here. Why is he not here? Then, with a sharp look, Saber asks a question. Why didn't you bring Archer? I left him at home. We're doing a surprise attack, so we don't need to have him. You don't need him if we have Saber, right? To be honest, I don't want him anywhere near Caster. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you could have had him stationed a mile or 10 away, ready to snipe if push comes shove. Tosaka starts walking. I don't know what she's thinking, but that means we won't have the help of Archer this time. Time passes. We have to cross this intersection to get to Ryoto Temple from school. It's taken an hour to set up our territory. The simple bounded field set up by Tosaka. We're screwed if we're seen, but the soundproofing is perfect. No one would even notice if a missile exploded here. That's kind of dangerous, you know. According to Tosaka, the surrounding area is too quiet. It might also be because her field's working, but everything feels too lifeless. It's already been 7 days since the Holy Grail War started. It seems the town's spirit is slowly being stripped away without anyone noticing. He's here. Hi, Demiya. I move to the wall. I can't even hear the footsteps. There's a figure beneath the streetlight. A tall, lean physique. That familiar figure is definitely Soichiro Kuzuki. Mr. Kuzuki passes by in front of us with his usual orderly footsteps. He's too defenseless. I'm assaulted with the feeling he might be innocent. Don't you think he might be innocent after all? Well, we'll find out soon. She seems to be half in doubt as well. Seems like she's still carrying on with her plan as she points her index finger towards Mr. Kuzuki. Gander. It's a curse that lowers the target's physical ability, considered to be a simple magecraft. Hers is more like a gunshot instead of a gander, but I'm sure she'll lower the intensity this time. Are you ready? Ready-a? Ready-a, Emiya? Are you ready, Emiya? She whispers. There's still time. The possibility that he's innocent. Isn't there another way other than a gander to check if he's a master or not? And that's where the decision point comes, so now we're going to load and scroll spoils for later on. There we go. Not a far check for the load, at least. And now I should not have to load any at all. So, if memory serves, I chose that's the only option because I'm pretty sure I was in the mindset that stopping Irene would piss her off. Nope, we are not going to skip this scene. I clench my teeth to bear my unease. I can only brace myself now. If he's innocent, I'll just have to remove the curse with all my might. Shooting now. She takes in a small breath. A black shot is released, followed by the sound of something piercing the air. Don't skip. Dot dot dot. She must have said something aloud on purpose. The gander's speed is slow and black haze flies toward him like a change up pitch. Never heard of that before. Dot dot dot. A wind of disease that'll cause him to be bedridden for 2 days. But 2 days of not being able to move would be fatal for a master. There has to be some kind of reaction if he is one. Crap. She moves. Kuzuki doesn't react. Tosaka's gander mercilessly hits his head. It is interrupted before that. A robe suddenly appears in the space between them. The man who's supposed to be hit by the gander looks at us, as if he knew we were here all along. I immediately pull the wooden sword out of my bag, bleh, and put magical energy into it. I don't have time to be fumbling around with strengthening. The swirl of cloth in front of Kuzuki now takes shape. Slender limbs appear from indigo robes. Teleportation. Actual teleportation is considered to be true magic in this modern world. The Dark Witch, caster uses such mystic with ease, appears before us. I've warned you, Soichiro. I told you to stay at the temple since things like this can happen. She must not think anything of us, as she talks calmly to her master, Kuzuki. And yet, this is not bad. We've managed quite the catch. True, the fish aren't large, but there's no doubt that That's a grammar error. There should be a space between that and it. It is not a word. Dot dot dot. It'd be difficult to run now. Now, if Caster and her master are in front of us, then all there is to do is to fight them, even if it is the middle of town. But before that, are you not going to come out? That's too bad. I at least wanted to see what you look like. What's with that fox? She already knows where we are. Who we are. Tosaka curses in her hiding spot. She must have heard that. I'll give you 3 seconds before I send your own spell back at you, little girl. Caster says cheerfully and points her hand toward us. The absurdity of what she did before returns to my mind. She's not that naive. I'm sure she would destroy the whole area along with the wall we're hiding behind. Jump out when I give the signal. Saber, are you ready? I sense her nodding behind me. But something I need to confirm before that. Sorry, do it later, Tosaka. Huh? I don't wait for her to reply. I go out into the intersection from the shelter, wooden sword in hand. Shiro! Tosaka must not have it in her to leave me alone in this and follows me out. Oh, this is unexpected. Do you understand your position better now, boy? Caster watches us, calmly. Kuzuki stands next to her. The distance between us is about 10 meters. No matter how I think about it, Castor's fingertips would be much faster than me running to them. With full knowledge of the situation, I step forward. I have to do something before we fight. That is... Tosaka and Emiya, huh? So you two are masters as well, like Mato? Though you are mages, fate certainly still has its way with you. To confirm the identity of Soichiro Kuzuki is the one Castor is protecting. What is it, Emiya? You have something to ask? He asks in his usual manner. Stretch! Oh. I don't feel a presence like the presence of a mage from Mr. Kuzuki. No, I don't even feel a desire for victory from this so-called war. Then, has Castor put you up to this? It's possible that he's being manipulated by Castor, like Archer said. Until I get this cleared up, I just can't fight him. I can feel Castor's desire to kill me. That alone tells me the question is off limits. Shut up, boy. I should kill you. Hey, he's insightful somewhat at least. Yet her words are not quite a threat. However... Hold on. Why are you asking me that, Emiya? Mr. Kuzuki stops her in his usual manner. There must be a reason for your question. Tell me. My throat is dry. It must be Castor's murderous glare. The woman in the indigo robe tells me without words that she'll kill me if I say something wrong. I bear it, and I don't know how you became a master, but you're a decent person, right? There's no way you're overlooking what Castor is doing. But since it seems like you are, I just thought you might not know about it. I glare back at Castor. Yep, Shiro Emiya is stupid, but he has balls at times. What Castor's doing... Yeah, she's holding up in Ryoto Temple and collecting magical energy from the people in this town. The coma incidents that have been happening recently are all her doing. The victim count has been increasing as well. As long as Castor continues stealing magical energy, I'm sure people will eventually die. She said that everyone in this town is a sacrifice. It won't be long before it's too late. I see, so that's what you mean. A virtuous person would not let Castor be. Yet, as I'm letting her run free as her master, you thought I may be under her sway in some fashion. Yeah, if you're still letting her be while knowing what she's doing, then you're just a murderer. I won't hold back, but it's a different story if you're being manipulated in all of this. We'll just defeat Castor. No, this is the first time I've heard of this. Uh-oh. She's in trouble. His statement leaves no room for interpretation. He doesn't seem to be lying either. Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. Whew. Though relieved, I still keep my guard up against Castor. Mr. Kuzuki is a victim if he's being manipulated. So all that's left is to defeat Castor. However, Emiya, are Castor's actions really so bad? And yet still, he says this as well. What are you? It doesn't concern me how many strangers die, and besides, Castor's not taken anyone's life. Though I dare say, Castor, you've chosen a half-hearted measure. If you're going to do such a thing, you may as well take their life. What? The way he says it is no different than usual. He gives his honest opinion. Kuzuki's the same as when he lectures at school. Are you going to involve innocent people in this? Other people are irrelevant. Well, I suppose you correctly guessed my true nature. I'm not a mage. I'm just a murderer, spending his days wasting away. Kuzuki takes a step back. He watches us from behind Castor. You're correct to assume I'm Castor's puppet. I don't care about the Holy Grail War. If Castor and the two of you are going to kill each other, I'll simply observe. Most of all, I value my own life. I don't care what Castor is scheming, I just kill whoever gets in my way. You as you wish, Castor. It's up to you whether you let them live or die. Castor stands in front of us, smiling in victory. They're both underhanded foxes! Tosaka clicks her tongue and doesn't move. Or rather, she can't move. In terms of skill as a mage, we aren't a match for Castor even put together. For masters who claim to be mages, an opponent like Castor far exceeds what we're capable of. Excuse me. I see. Then you don't mind dying here, Kuzuki. Yeah? A voice behind me. Before I can turn around, the Knight of the Sword, the servant Saber, dashes forward. My voice can't even keep up. Saber, already clad in silver, charges towards Kuzuki like a gust of wind. Stop right there, Saber. Caster confronts her with a spell. She recites 5 verses. If Saber is a gust of wind completing 10 meters in a breath, then Caster's must be a lightning for casting a spell even faster. A bolt of lightning from a raging storm. 5 bolts of light are shot out in less than a second and stab at Saber like fatal thorns. Except it's Saber. Magic resistance. No, I don't know of any knight who can defend against my magecraft. Caster screams. Even Archer tried to dodge Caster's spell, but Saber's nullifying it just by glaring at it. Yet her focus is not Caster. Her target. The opponent she must slash is none other than the master, Kuzuki. Saber slashes at him without hesitation. Silence returns to the intersection. Saber is frozen after slashing her sword. Everyone here assumes the match is decided because of how quick the attack was. Yes, everyone except Kuzuki, who stands there calmly. Don't skip the scene. Interlude time! Charge. Halt. Attack. Having repelled all of Caster's divine words, Saber concluded the match without any opening for a counterattack. The speed at which she charges, the force of her planted feet, and the horizontal line her sword draws brings an unavoidable strike. She swings her invisible sword at the enemy master. A perfectly timed attack. With a slash so satisfying it would sever a large tree, Saber splits Kuzuki in twain. No, it should have split him in 2. She gasps in bewilderment. Her eyes must be playing tricks. Saber stares at the enemy before her in astonishment, still mid-swing. Impossible. Comprehension eludes her. The fatal attack cut a perfect line. That attack is stopped. Just shy of the enemy's body, the sword was caught between his leg and arm? Is such a miracle possible? Her sword has been stopped by her enemy. Between raised knee and cocked elbow. The man stopped her high-speed slash by catching it between his elbow and knee. Of course she is unaware. There's an Eastern martial arts technique that is used to catch an opponent's weapon with one's bare hands, and there are experts today who still practice it. Even then, she wouldn't have stood a chance with Even then, she wouldn't have stood there with naked amazement had it been a normal battle. But this is a servant battle, and the enemy is just a human. But to stop a fatal attack from a sword blade that cannot be seen with his bare hands, there's no way this man could possibly be sane. You underestimated me, Saber. His voice is deep as if echoing from the depths of the earth. Saber's body moves. She tries to pull back her sword with all her might. And in that instant, a sudden surprise blow strikes the back of her head. She doesn't understand what's going on at all. It's her first time fighting someone who can stop a sword without any arms or armor on at all. Wait, was that attack done by his bare hands as well? She must have been punched. The back of her head was struck at such close range she could feel her opponent's very breath. She avoids it without knowing what it is. Something grazes her temple. She perceives that it's a fist strengthened by some kind of magecraft and leaps back. As she wields a long weapon, she's at a disadvantage at close range against an unarmed opponent. She retreats to a range where she can make use of her sword. She faces the enemy the entire time. Her only goal is to move out of the range advantageous to her opponent. It's a basic established tactic to pursue a retreating target, but he doesn't give chase. Though he will be defeated if he remains stationary, he does not move. He strikes at her solar plexus. The wind is knocked out of her. She feels the impact. The attack is hindered by her armor, which keeps the blow from piercing her body. The impacts continue. They're nothing more than human fists that precisely target her vital areas. Could she even comprehend in time? By the time she realized that those stone-like fingers were the cause of impact, the match had already been decided. Flurry of blows! The rain of fists repeat. His fists are in rapid succession with an intensity and weight as if they're made of divine iron. How can it be explained? His arms are flexible like a whip but only move at right angles. If his arms are shot out in a flash, the way his forearms follow are the techniques of a demon. Barely perceptive blows target all her vitals. He allows no counterattack. Even her arms are targeted in the pain that reaches her core through her armor. The attacks come from the outside and shift in. A wide swing of the arm changes direction using elbow as the fulcrum, attacking Saber from all directions. The attacks are keen and cause dulling. Though not an instant death, each blow contributes to a slow-acting poison. That is the death that seeps in with each blow. Each blow cannot be avoided, and each strike alone is not enough to maim. But the pain numbs her mind each time. And with the opening from that, his fist seeks the back of her head once again, like the curling cull of Death's scythe. Intuition allows her to avoid it. The attacks going for her arms or chest are fine, but if the back of her head is struck, she's done for. And so Saber concentrates her muddied mind on that one blow. He is a beast that can block her sword empty-handed. Intuition alone gives her insight necessary to face this unknown style that she's never faced the likes of. You dodge quite well, even though you're still confused. The enemy's arms stop. His stance is like his fists, firm like a rock. I see, it's not your eyes are good, but your instinct. The man's body moves. What was different about this attack? Saber, able to avoid all fatal blows up until this point, could not avoid the next blow. Her consciousness fades. The impact landing at the back of her head shakes her brain. Even then, she raises both arms. The man's attack cannot penetrate her armor. Then the man will go for her unprotected face. She raises both arms to protect her face. The impact weaves past her limbs. It's like a snake that crawls through a dense forest. The enemy's fists expertly make its way through her upraised arms. Her consciousness drifts. The body of the metaphysical snake, his left elbow, hammers into her collarbone. She avoids it by retreating a short distance and adjusts the grip on her sword. The course of the fist after that. She prepares for the blow coming from the left that will change direction at the elbow and aim for the back of her head. She cannot afford to make light of him. If her opponent demands her consciousness, then so be it. In return, she'll claim his arms. She opens her eyes and is astonished by the change. Using his elbow as the fulcrum, the blow comes straight down from above. The circular orbit of the attacks up until now changed into a straight line. She immediately moves her neck to avoid the blow going for the top of her head. The impact falls on her shoulder. As she glares at the enemy for wrecking her shoulder, a freezing sensation shoots down her spine. The man cocks his upper body. His right arm, still this entire time, finally moves. At the height of her throat, his arm is released, like a cannonball. Unlike the previous attacks following a downward line, this jab comes in a straight like a thrust. His fist flies at her. With such force and precision, it'll skewer her. The blow comes with all of his might and will easily pierce her throat, sever bone, and rip her head off. But it misses. Surprise attacks don't work on her. Intuition like seeing the future is hers to command. The snake's fist grazes past her neck. Seeing that, she steps into attack, but at that moment, right beside her neck, an unbelievable sound. The snake's fangs pierce her. The instant Saber avoids his fist, his fingers grab her with a sickening crunch. Like an anchor Yeah, that's a brutal, brutal scene. The astonishment passes through her as a shudder. Yet a hand is usually something to grab, not punch. He must be receiving aid from Caster's magecraft as his fingers easily crush Saber's neck. She raises her sword. She swings to cut off the enemy arm before her neck is crushed. But she's unable to finish her attack. Before she can bring her sword down, her entire body is swung like a sword in his hands. She feels herself fly through the air. He swings like a baseball pitcher. While still holding her neck, the man throws her with one arm. A fastball using a person in place of a ball. There's no way she can break her fall. He tears her away at her neck as he throws, then smashes against a concrete wall at 200 kilometers per hour. Her body is forced to shut down. Interlude out. Yeah, that's a brutal fight. Truly brutality. Do not skip the next scene. Everyone watches in astonishment. It's not just me and Tosaka. Even Caster, who ought to have been thrilled by a turn in her favor, stares at her own master in wonder. Saber's swift attack to Kuzuki's counterattack. From the nightmare-like neck grab to the impressive throw, it was all incredible, even to the losing side. Saber doesn't move. She was thrown by her neck and smashed into the wall. Smashed back first into the wall. Her neck injury must be fatal. On top of that, she hit the wall at a speed clearly meant to finish her. I don't think it killed her, but I'm sure she can't move. At the very least, she'll be laying on the ground until the wounds on her neck and bruises all over her body heal. No. I murmur without realizing. Even though his fists were strengthened by her magecraft, Kuzuki's body is still human. Who would think that he'd be able to overwhelm a servant in melee combat? It's fine to assume that a master's role is to provide support from the rear. The lean figure turns. But there's always exceptions. There are also masters like me who have no choice but to take the vanguard. He just proved that to us just now. Therefore, these two are. Their fighting roles as master and servant are completely swapped. What are you doing, Caster? I told you beforehand. If you're going to support me, you must take care of the enemy's projectile weapons. The enemy. Kuzuki stares at Tosaka. The saber is less of a threat to him than Tosaka, who can attack at a distance. So Kuzuki is wary of targeting us. He feels that mages ought to battle other mages. What happened, Caster? I said that you can do as you wish. No, I'll take care of Saber. Soichiro, please take care of the remaining masters. He nods silently and walks toward us. Behind him, Caster faces the collapsed Saber. Bring it on. Saber's taken him back, but now we know how he fights. We just have to beat him before he gets close to us. Tosaka slowly retreats, glaring at Kuzuki. A fight between a mage and a warrior is a fight for distance. No matter how many monstrous fighting techniques he may have, he has no magic resistance. We can win if we can land a hit at range. Victory is ours if we can manage to cast a spell before he reaches us. He faces Tosaka and doesn't move. Caster walks towards the wall that Saber was thrown at. The action is a mistake. There's an opening I can take advantage, so I'll go help Saber. Yeah, I'm sure this is definitely the right choice. We're gonna go help Saber. Yeah, we're not gonna skip the scene. Don't skip the scene at all. I'll protect Saber. Even though she might not be able to defeat him, she should have an advantage if she focuses on retreat. There's about 5 meters between us. If he takes another step, she should be able to react and dodge any strike. Delicious H2O. But Saber's different. Her neck is half cut off like Ryder, and she's been thrown into a wall. Her situation is far more dire. Even if she's invincible against mages, she'll easily be defeated by Caster in that state. Counting on you, Tosaka. I grip my sword and charge towards him in front of me. My true objective is to reach Saber before she's attacked by Caster. I'll take a swing as I pass. I'm sure he'll dodge it, but Tosaka should be able to take advantage of the opening. I swing the sword as I pass by him. It doesn't even do anything. The wooden sword crumbles to pieces and the blow from his fists make me lose my footing. He rushes in at her in an instant. Time stops. She's astonished but immediately points her hand at him. And the right hand of the enemy, the hand that wrecked Saber's neck, strikes her in the chest. All the air in her lungs go out. Then, a hammering blow like a battering ram against a castle strikes her face mercilessly. Witness my own fate as I see her miserable state. Her face isn't there. Yeah, that's more than a little brutal. There's nothing left where his blow struck. He just obliterated her. I don't know if it was face or head that she... It's kind of implying her head's gone, but could also just be her face is completely caved in. Either way, very brutal. You made the wrong decision, Emiya. Just like Castor. I can't raise my head. Just like a student that doesn't know how to answer the question and can't bear to face the teacher, I can't look at Kuzuki. I stand there, unable to walk. This is the second person I've killed. A footstep. The murderer named Soichiro Kuzuki slowly walks toward me. But I still do not feel anything. With an unbelievable sound, he pierces through my chest. Dead end. Yep. Quick and brutal. Dead end there. Very quick. Very brutal. Poor Reen. She got the short end of the stick. We'll seek the advice because that's part of this re-recording. Hi, is everyone doing well? This is the 19th Tiger Dojo where we save Shiro, who has died a disappointing death after letting his guard down for just a moment. We have a special guest this time. The barbaric flying head, Reen! Ah yes, it was her whole head that was blasted off. Reen, how are you feeling? Kill Shiro. Oh, wonderful. I know how you feel, but please restrain yourself. In short, Shiro's action of prioritizing Saber over Reen was professional negligence resulting in death. But can you blame him? You didn't have enough charm as a woman compared to Saber, so you weren't protected when it mattered most. Well, you just weren't lucky during battle, so devote yourself to being a cute girl so this doesn't happen next time. But Shiro should reflect on his actions too. In that situation, you should prioritize Tosaka over Saber. I know it hurts to abandon Saber, but you should harden your heart and protect Tosaka even if it's just Tosaka. The neck moved. Reen, excuse me for asking, but where are you going? To go kill Shiro. Run, Grandpa, run! She really is wonderful. Humor of humor. Restart from the most recent decision point, and we're gonna protect Reen this time. Do not skip this scene. I'll protect Reen. Saber isn't dead yet. Even if Kuzuki was an unexpected monster, Saber still hasn't lost. On top of that, Castor shouldn't be able to finish Saber off. I tighten my grip on my wooden sword. My eyes lock onto Kuzuki to not even blink. The moment he turns toward Tosaka, I'll move between them. Knowing her, I'm sure she's going to leap to the side and shoot Kuzuki. There's no time to take action. It was an instant. The moment I thought his body wavered, he was in front of Reen. She's astonished, but immediately points her hand at him. And the right hand of the enemy. The hand that wrecked Saber's neck strikes her in the chest. This is familiar. Time seems to stop. All the air in her lungs go out from that blow. This is it. If a mage can't breathe, they can't cast a spell incantation or carry out most of their abilities. Though she's just barely able to leap back, it seems she only had the wind knocked out of her. But the next attack, even though she jumped back, it was only a meter or so. Such a distance is inconsequential to someone like Kuzuki. I move in between them. Using my wooden sword as a shield, I plant myself between the attacker and prey. He thrusts his fist. I can't even see it. How did Saber dodge something like... I desperately protect my left side. A heavy striking sound follows, along with the sound of my sword snapping. I see him coming with his next attack. I'm going to die. Instinctively, I know it's coming. The strengthened wooden sword was the same as steel. If he can destroy that with one blow, then he can destroy my body no matter where he hits me. I can't stop him. Tosaka is coughing painfully behind me. I can't see his attacks, and my only weapon was destroyed. His fist aims precisely for my temple. Shiro Emi will die from that hammer-like blow. I'll die if I don't stop it. Weapon. I'm no match for him. I need a strong weapon to make up for the difference in our strength. It closes in on my brain. I imagine myself dying. No, if that happens, I'll end up dead if I can't stop it. A weapon. I need a weapon. A weapon that won't get destroyed by him. Not a weapon, not a wooden sword taken in haste, but a proven, strong weapon. An extraordinary weapon beyond my ken. Yeah, like the ones he uses. Projection, start. Then I'll make them. I'll make them even if it's impossible. I'll make them at any cost. Strengthen and reproducing. Something that doesn't exist and something that doesn't. I'll force myself to believe they're exactly the same. I don't have time. I can't overthink it. Fake it no matter what. I don't care if I break or lose something in the process. Faster. I don't care if it's fake. Hurry. Forget it all. I'm not the only one whose life is at stake here. If I don't hurry, if I can't stop it, Tosaka will. No way. A sight beyond hope. Tosaka speaks for me. A muffled voice. Was that Kuzuki? Something might have happened to my ears. I can't hear properly. No, not just my ears. The sensation in my limbs is numb. Out of only my right eye is functioning adequately. I see his approaching fist. It's like watching someone else block it. My arms feel hollow. I don't have any sensation in them, but I swear I can hear my nerves fraying. His twin swords are in my hands. The Yang Kansho and Yin Bakuya, the name of the swords. Even though they were reproduced haphazardly, the swords still present themselves to their owner. But I'm sorry. I can't project you perfectly with my skills. We spring apart. The twin swords that parried 30 strikes shatter as if to say they can't take any more. It's not because they lost Kuzuki's fists. The twin swords disappeared because I can't maintain my image of them. The twin swords must have been unexpected as he shows hesitation for the first time. Then, a strong wind stirs up the intersection. I look toward the wall. Saber must have recovered as she stands. Caster in front of her rapidly steps back. Yes, that's why it was a mistake. Just because she was defeated, it didn't mean she lost her powers. So there's no way Saber with strong magic resistance could be cornered by Caster. It's Kuzuki's role to finish off Saber. Despite that, Caster made a mistake. She seemed to be planning something, but that excessiveness cost her her chance at victory. Kuzuki retreats. He stands protective of Caster and as a ward against Saber. This is it. We'll retreat, Caster. He makes an apt decision. No, Saber's injured. You should be able to defeat her again like before. She's not someone who will fall for it twice. I'm the one who underestimated her. I should have struck her once more. Kuzuki is correct. She was cornered because his attacks were unnatural. But that was before. I wouldn't be able to deal with them no matter how many times I saw them. But Saber's already used to them. Tactics are supposed to be unknown to an opponent. His attacks are powerful, but since they're so unique, their exposure renders future attacks followable. The first strike must be fatal. The difference between skills that have been polished with an art form and a single move that has been trained to the utmost limits. I understand, Soichiro. Yes, as long as I'm a servant, I must obey my master's order. Who was that directed to? She spits in disgust and flutters her robe dramatically. There's nothing after that. After the indigo robes wrap around Kuzuki's body, they vanish from the intersection like magic. Nope. Do not skip. Damn it, there's no way Kuzuki will come out of the temple. After Caster and Kuzuki disappear, without concern over her wounded chest, Tosaka grits her teeth in regret. I understand how she feels. At this point, he won't come out of the temple. Yeah, she kinda just said that. If we are to defeat Caster, we're going to have to take the fight to them at this time, and make an attack on their territory. But Assassin is the gatekeeper at the temple, and Kuzuki and Caster are not opponents that can be defeated easily. We'll be defeated again if we just attack recklessly. Yet, we have no choice but to go to the temple if we want to defeat Caster. I must warn you, the temple's a dangerous place for us servants. The chance of victory is slim, even if we have Archer join us and push our way through. I know how strange that mountain is. I won't chase after them no matter how frustrating it is, and I won't involve your master in the attack strategies that are excuse me, overly aggressive. Then are you giving up on attacking Caster? You're kidding, right? I can't stand being beaten, and most of all, I can't let Caster be. I think your master has the same opinion. Isn't that right? She turns her gaze toward me. Saber follows Tosaka's lead and looks to me as if there's any question. Of course, I can't let those two be. Caster's not going to stop collecting magical energy and her master, Kuzuki, won't be able to stop her either, so it's up to us to stop them. Assassin is still at the temple, but everything will be settled if we defeat Caster's master. Kuzuki, I said it, damn it! I friggin' said it! Yeah, I don't think Mr. Kuzuki will let us take away his command spells that easily, but we should be able to manage if we get a hold of him. We'll also have to plan strategies for the time being. Then, I don't know why, but Tosaka suddenly... More than that, what was that earlier, Emiya? Wasn't strengthening your only magecraft? She asks with a serious expression as if watching an enemy. I'm at a loss. The magecraft from earlier, is she asking about reproducing archer's swords? Well, I'm also surprised that I can do that, but it's not something that ought to earn me that look. Don't be quiet and answer me. You said before the only magecraft you can use is strengthening, right? Well, yeah, first magecraft I was able to use was projection, but I was taught to use strengthening instead of since projection is inefficient. Wait, I not tell you about this? You didn't? It pisses me off you didn't tell me. Her glare intensifies. I really don't get why she's so angry with me. Let me ask you, this isn't your first time using projection magecraft? I guess not. Whenever I fail at strengthening, I'll often use projection to clear my mind. It's not like I was able to conjure anything useful like earlier. I can get them to look similar on the outside, but everything would be empty on the inside. Empty on the inside? What do you mean you can only reproduce appearance? No, I tried for the inside, but it never went well. That's why I'm surprised myself. What I imagined isn't close to the real thing, but those swords earlier were pretty close. That doesn't mean you acquired projection before strengthening. More like that was the only thing I could do. But my old man said it was useless and I should change my focus to strengthening. Yeah, I would have had you do the same thing. But that was strange. You reproduced archer swords for such a long time, but you can't reproduce normal things. Maybe you have a narrow alignment. There are mages who aren't versatile, but are skilled in only one matter. She starts thinking aloud. She doesn't look at me. Let's go home for today. Saber seems to have used magical energy to heal herself, so we have to let her rest. And she goes home by herself, just like that. So still, I think this might be the last scene. I'm going to check real quick. No, there are 2 scenes more. Okay. So 2 more scenes, and then we're done with this replay. There's no one at home. The hallway is dead silent. I'd be surprised if someone was at your home, Shiro. My ears might still be screwed up, as I can't hear my own footsteps. The numbness in my limbs won't go away, and I don't feel the ground under my feet. Surprised I can walk in this condition, I head straight to my room without conversation. See, wasn't it a good idea to make the dinner beforehand as well? Clearly it was. Otherwise, you'd be making Seba go hungry. And a hungry Seba is not a happy Seba. Let's not train tonight. You must be tired too, right? You were wounded pretty badly. Saber follows me to my room. No, I don't have a problem. I use magical energy to heal myself, and I still have enough to replenish it. More importantly, Shiro, do you feel any abnormality in your body? No, I'm fine. My limbs are still heavy, but I think they're just sore. It should be gone by tomorrow. Understood. However, please let me know if your body is hurting. Yeah, you can wake me up if anything happens. If you get hungry in the middle of the night, I can make you a midnight snack or something. I can't provide her with magical energy, so the only thing I can do is make her food to cheer her up. Please don't punish yourself. She heads to the room next to mine. Yeah, I should just go to sleep. I'll make my bed and lay down. My limbs still feel numb. It might be a side effect of magecraft that I'm not used to, but I feel ready to pass out. Stupid, I'm actually kind of tired. The ringing in my ears bothers me, but it seems like I'll be able to sleep well for the first time in a while. Or not. Yeah, he's clearly not getting a good night's sleep. Possible epilepsy warning, maybe? I claw at my futon. Feels like molten steel is coming up my throat. Every muscle and bone in my body is screwed. A grinding sound echoes in my numb ears. The sound of creaking bones comes from within me. What's wrong with them? The bones in my limbs are splitting in complaint, and my ribs are squirming as if trying to burst through my chest muscles. Agony runs through my entire body, and my body feels like it's being crushed by a massive vice from without, but the pain comes from within. I'm being crushed. I'm being pulled apart. On top of my bed, I squirm like a bug and try to bear the anguish. Poor Man, Saber's really not doing a good job looking out for us. What if we're being tortured right now? My forehead is hot. My brain must not be able to bear this pain. It's burning like a sauna. I no longer care if this is compensation for using Matrapiotomy, or if this is the abnormality Saber warned me about. But for some reason, I don't want to call her for her help. I don't want to worry her over something like this. I have to handle it myself. That's just how it should. I desperately suppress every groan as I sweat profusely. The clock that I look over at absently is not even at midnight. It'd be easier if I just go to sleep, but I'm sure this pain will wake me up every time I do so. I'm going through a daze. My consciousness is fading away. The pain should go away once the sun comes up. But until then, the fact that I have to bear this pain for 7 more hours is like a nightmare. Yeah, that much pain for that long would break most people's minds. And the final scene of this day. And this part for YouTube. Section 9-2. Interlude in Unlimited Blade Walks. Such a place was not pleasant. Frustration and delusion, envy and jealousy. This place permeated with Stygian emotions is cursed. It should have been his, yet it was never used for him. This place is depressing. He clicks his tongue, but this is all his delusion. A stranger's child spent a few years here and threatened the Mato lineage for the longest time. That's the only part he knows. His father never told him anything, and his grandfather let slip what happened here. His father didn't choose him in the thought of ending the Mato bloodline, but his grandfather wished for his lineage to continue. So he has no regard for his father, the one that brought him into being and taught him failure, while his grandfather brought him privilege and taught him superiority. Shinji laughs, wondering what his mother had given him. First of all, women are not needed in the Mato household. He heard his mother was a carrier, but she must have become useless after she gave birth. Something of his mother probably remained in this room, but he has no intention of searching for such a thing. He doesn't even want to see what the organism that gave birth to his inferior self. The basement is filled with decay. Strange insects cover the floor in the depths of the darkness. There should be no nutrients to claim, but the insects still nest in this underground training area. No. From the beginning, this is not the place to raise humans, but a place to raise insects. Swarms with black wings can be glimpsed in the back. Even the shadows on the walls must be dark, slimy insects. In the midst of that, there's a man that gives off a golden shine, incongruous to the lowest of places. Oh, you were here, Archer? The golden man, Archer, doesn't even look at the person who came down and just stares into the deep. Listen, I have good news. Kyrie said he would turn a blind eye to our actions. Ha! I thought he showed promise, but he really is useful. That means we won't get into trouble no matter what we do, right? His voice is full of delight as he makes his way to Archer. Archer finally notices the red eyes move. Oh no, I didn't come to complain to you. I don't care where you go or what you do. I respect my servant's free will. I'm tolerant, unlike the others. Shinji is overpowered by his red eyes, but still approaches Archer. Even if Archer has an ominous presence, he's only a servant. Therefore, he maintains his arrogance. He shows deference, but still makes known who stands superior. I see. Kotomine thinks highly of you. Yeah, he says he owes my grandfather. He said that a lineage with history like mine should win, rather than some third-rate mage. That's obvious. So obvious. But he has good judgment. He did take care of me, so I'm thinking of thanking him once I get the Holy Grail. His joyful snicker echoes. Then let's start, Archer. You don't need to worry about catching people's attention. Go ahead and kill all you want. Eat their souls and get stronger. Then they'll be next. We'll go crush that annoying Saber and go thank Emiya. He pats Archer on the shoulder. Archer watches his hand as if been touched by something unpleasant. What? Come on, I told you we're going, Archer. No matter what hero one may be, servants must obey their masters, right? He must have imagined making Saber submit to him and having his friend crawl on the ground. He makes his orders with high spirits, but the Golden Man doesn't move. Shinji, you do not understand the Holy Grail. He calls his master by his name for the first time. Huh? Ignore the other masters if you want the Holy Grail. They are nothing more than sacrifices. If you truly wish for the Holy Grail, there's something we must attend to first. Something we must attend to first? The boy Shinji Mito looks at his servant, timidly. His feet shuffle back unconsciously, and the hand that was on Archer's shoulder is no longer there. Let us obtain it first. I'll lend my power to you in order to obtain the Holy Grail. It is the only common goal between us. Well, I do understand how you feel. Revenge feels good. To seek pleasure is proof that you're human. I'll take part in your joy once we're done with what we must do. Yet amused with himself, Archer's lips curl in a smile. Sensing something brutal in it, Shinji finally feels some uneasiness about this servant identity. The eighth servant. A heroic spirit that should not exist. The king of heroes, the strongest of them all. A survivor with the previous Holy Grail War. Come to think of it, I haven't asked you yet. Shinji attempts to maintain his feeling of superiority. What is it? I shall answer, Master. Your wish? What do you want to do once you obtain the Holy Grail, Archer? It's a natural question. A half-immortal heroic spirit said to have owned all the treasures in the world. What could this man possibly desire now? Oh, you didn't know? Archer asks, surprised. He breaks into another smile from this new development. I approve of all that is luxurious. Lavish decoration should be admired most of all. However, there is no meaning in casting pearls before such unnecessary swine. Unnecessary? I speak of the time long ago. I took 10 slaves and attempted to kill the least necessary. What do you think happened, Shinji? They're just slaves, right? Didn't you kill all of them? No, the thing is, I found I couldn't kill a single one. An age has passed in the world that was, there was no such thing as useless laborer. Archer shrugs his shoulders at the irony and steps forward into the deep. He lifts his leg over the floor veiled in shadow. But this world has plenty of excess. If you were to take tens of thousands of people, not a single one would have enough value to stay my hand. This world has become far too hospitable to humans. I don't get it. What does he want, Archer? You're trying to obtain the Holy Grail since you have something in mind, right? Archer doesn't answer. The Golden Man doesn't even turn to face the boy. It's simple. Too many of something is sickening. He lowers his foot into the deep darkness. A crunching sound. Crushed insects dot the dark floor, and more still swarm their corpses. Yep. That's a good analogy for what is going on in the basement, but also for Gilgamesh's mindset overall. But that is essentially where I'm going to be calling things here. That is all of the footage that was lost in the great deletion of whatever the heck happened to that video, or VOD rather. So, like I said, I'm going to call this one here. So, for now, if you've been watching this, please, for me, like the video, subscribe if you want to show even more support, comment if you have anything to say, look in the description down below for links to the Twitch and the Discord where you can follow and join in both. But for now, thank you so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic day, everybody.